Hello viewers, yes, this is Ranjana ma'am and you're watching Yes, mine as well as your channel. So I know the thumbnail says it all, but I've been getting quite a few requests regarding the modern English syllabus, that I should start the modern English syllabus as soon as possible. So you have Pygmalion in your dramas and in your short story, perspective, then reflection, these are your poems. So today I'm going to explain Lawley Road. Lawley Road, written by one of the best English writers, Indian English writers of our times, R.K.NARAYAN. So in the previous ICSE syllabus also there was one. I think you all might have read it. Two goats and a horse. Then there are several more I have taught in the ICSE or sometimes in the ISE syllabus, like out of business, and then there are some more. At this moment I don't remember the names, but R.K.NARAYAN, one of the best writers of English, one of the best Indian writers of English. So this takes place, the story Lawley Road takes place in the post-independence era. So after independence. So what happens is that after independence, a blanket seller during the British times, he becomes the municipal chairman. And then he thinks he should do something. Enjoying his position, he should do something remarkable. And then all the confusion takes place when he tries to rename a particular road, Lawley Road. He wants to rename it as Mahatma Gandhi Road, and then further he wants to bring down the statue of Mr. Lawley, and all the confusion, chaos that takes place. And then we have the talkative man. He seems to be gathering news and also gossiping. He seems to be quite a well-to-do fellow. So his main job is to gather news, and he earns his livelihood in this way. But it is not his only source of income. He has a good inheritance. This is what he does to pass his time, and he enjoys gossiping. So he offers to take the statue home. So he takes a lot of trouble to take it home, and after that some people, they bring it to light that this Lawley was not a Britisher who was against Indians. Rather, he was a supporter of Indian. He was a nice man, kind man, and a supporter of India. So then these people protest that it is a shame to bring down his statue. He had been a friend of India. So now the chairman tells the talkative man that you are to bring the statue and see that it is reinstalled. So he says, no, I won't do it unless I am paid. Initially he refuses. There is a satire. The whole statue, he keeps it in such a way that some part of it is protruding out of the house. He tells his wife and children to go and stay somewhere else. And he wants to sell. He is a greedy man. He wants to sell the statue of Sir Lawley in parts as scrap. But when he finds he cannot do so, so he tells the chairman, then you will have to pay me for it. He asks for a good amount of money. The chairman says the fund won't permit. Then he says, no, you have to do something. And in the meantime, the pressure is mounting to reinstall the statue. So he comes up with a good proposal to the chairman that let the statue be reinstalled in my house instead of where it had been previously. So you bear the expenses, give me a good amount of money and I will leave this house. So make this house a historical place. So see that a garden, there will be a garden around the house. So it will become quite a place for the tourists to come and visit. So, and in this way he tells the chairman that it will make you also memorable. You will become famous. So finally the chairman agrees to it, and then the statue of Lawley, Sir Lawley, is again not in its previous place but in the house of this talkative man. So this is the story. There is a blend of satire and humor as in other stories of R.K.NARAYAN. So what are we waiting for? And let's start. But before we do, you know what's coming. If you have not subscribed to my channel up till now, please do. And don't forget to press the like button. Lawley Road. The talkative man said. So who's the talkative man? You'll get to know. He is a gossiper. He gathers news and he gets quite a good amount of money from this by sending it to the newspapers. For years, people were not aware of the existence of municipality in Malgudi. Yeah, one of the most famous of R.K.NARAYAN's stories, Malgudi Days. And this short story, Malgudi Days, is actually a collection of stories. Malgudi is a fictional town. There is no real, geographically you won't find it. It is R.K.NARAYAN's own town, Malgudi. And Malgudi Days is a collection of stories, and this story, Lawley Road, is a part of it. The town was none the worse for it. So what if there was no municipality? But the town did not really suffer. Diseases, if they started, ran their course and disappeared. For even diseases must end someday. Just see the satire. Diseases, they started, they ended because it has to end. Whatever is born has to die. So if diseases are also born, they will die. Dust and rubbish were blown away by the wind out of sight. Drains ebbed and flowed and generally looked after themselves. Just see the satire here. If there was no municipality, what harm? So the drains overflowing, they took care of themselves because the municipality did not take care. The municipality kept itself in the background and remained so till the country got its independence of the 15th of August 1947. So all this is talking about the pre-independence era. Municipality was there, but it did not show its existence because the jobs which municipality is supposed to carry out, like seeing that the drains are not clogged, so doing away, sweeping the streets so that no flies and dust, and then diseases. So it is the job of the municipality to try and put an end to it. Sanitation, cleanliness, hygiene. History holds few records of such jubilation as it was witnessed on that day from the Himalayas to Cape Comorin. So right from the topmost peak of the northern part of India to the lowermost part of India in the south, Cape Comorin, Himalayas to Cape Comorin. There was jubilation. Why? We become free. The Britishers have left us. So what celebrations? Freedom at midnight. Our municipal council caught the inspiration. So yeah, they got inspired. They swept the streets, cleaned the drains and hoisted flags all over the place. Celebration. They are in a mood of celebration. So what did they do? Yeah, finally they cleaned the streets, the drains, and then put up flags. Their hearts warmed up when a procession with flags and music passed through the street. So the municipal council was really happy when they saw processions marching their way with flag and music. The municipal chairman looked down benignly from his balcony, muttering, "We have done our bit for this great occasion." So he seems to be quite happy. I have done my part, or we have done our part. What is the happy occasion referred to? The independence. I believe one or two members of the council who were with him saw tears in his eyes. So he's become emotional. He was a man who had done well for himself as a supplier of blankets to the army during the war. So this was a business, providing blankets to the army. Later spending a great deal of his gains in securing the chairmanship. How did he get his chairmanship? By, yes, offering bribes, good deal of money to buy the post. That's an epic by itself and does not concern us now. So it doesn't have any direct relation to the story. That is some epic. But it has no connection to the story, how he got his chairmanship. My present story is different. The bunting was torn off. The satisfaction the chairman now felt, however, short-lived. So the satisfaction did not remain for long. Why? When the bunting was torn off, he became quite dispirited. So in about a week, all those decorations torn up. I used to visit him almost every day, trying to make a living out of the news reports to an up-country paper which paid me 2 rupees for every inch of published news. So why did he visit the chairman often? To get some news. And this he would report to a newspaper and get 2 rupees. In those days, 2 rupees meant a lot. For 1 inch of publication, you get 2 rupees. So in this way, he earned quite a good amount of money. Every month, I could measure out about 10 inches of news in that paper, which was mostly a somewhat idealized account of municipal affairs. This made me a great favorite there. I walked in and out of municipal chairman's office constantly. So he walked in and out, that means he had become quite popular in that place. So he would get the news from here and sell it to the newspaper, and then in a month he would earn at least 10 rupees. 10 inches. So 1 inch, 2 rupees. No, so 10 inch. I thought it was 5. If it is 10 means 20 rupees a month. And even the municipal people, they were happy. Their news are being published because of this man. So when he sees the chairman looking unhappy, he asks, "What is wrong, Mr. Chairman?" "I feel we have not done enough," he replied. So he is again dissatisfaction. Enough of what? Nothing to mark off the great event. So we have to do something to mark off the great event, and we haven't done it. Great event, independence. He sat brooding in a thoughtful mood and then announced, "Come what may, I'm going to do something great. So let whatever come, I will do something great too, so that this event is remembered." He called up an extraordinary meeting of the council and harangued them, and at once decided to nationalize the names of all the streets and parks in honor of the birth of independence. So what was his plan? All the streets named after these Britishers, rename them with the names of Indian freedom fighters or Indian dignitaries. They made a start with the park at the market square. It used to be called Coronation Park. So now they rename it. Whose coronation? God alone knew. So no one is aware whose coronation that had given this place the name Coronation Park. It might have been the coronation of Victoria or of Ashoka. What a funny line. Queen Victoria or maybe King Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka. So who knows how old this park's name is. No one bothered about it. Now the old board was uprooted. Yeah, Coronation Board. So it was uprooted, and in its place what name? Lay on the lawn, and a brand new sign stood in its place declaring it henceforth to be known Hamara Hindustan Park. So Hindustan, India. So our Indian park, Hamara Hindustan Park. Indianized name. The other transformation, however, could not be so smoothly worked out. Why? Mahatma Gandhi Road was the most sought after name. Yeah. So this was the name people wanted to adopt. they wanted to give to the streets. Every place you will find one Mahatma Gandhi Road. There is in Bangalore, there is in Kolkata, MG Road you will find everywhere. So here also they wanted an MG Road. Eight different ward councillors were after it. So different wards and the councillors wanting to name one of the street as Mahatma Gandhi Road. So quite a rush for it, quite in demand. There were 6 others who wanted to call the roads in front of their houses Nehru Road or Netaji Subhash Bose Road. So wanted their roads to be named in this way, Netaji Subhash or Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru. So first, the most in demand was Gandhi, and then Nehru and Netaji Subhash were behind him. Tempers were rising and I feared they might come to blow. So after independence, where there should be peace, they come to blows. No, we want this name, and another comes and says, no, we want it. So coming to blows, fighting to get their demands. There came a point when I believe the council just went mad. They didn't know what to do. It decided to give the same name to 4 different streets. Mahatma Gandhi Road, 4 such roads in the town. So if a person comes and tells, I want to go to Mahatma Gandhi Road, so which road would you want? Do you think he should be asking for? So it should give rise to a lot of confusion. Well, sir, even in the most democratic or patriotic town, it is not feasible to have 2 roads bearing the same name. It is not really practical to have 2 roads and then there are 4 roads. So the council must have got crazy, bonkers. The result was seen within a fortnight. The result of naming 4 roads as Mahatma Gandhi Road. The town became unrecognizable with new names. Gone were the Market Road, North Road, Chitra Road, Vinayak Mudali Street, and so on. And what names replaced them? In their place appeared the names repeated in 4 different places for all the ministers, deputy ministers, and the members of the Congress Working Committee. So their names appeared there. And not duplicate. It's as if 4 names. 4 streets bearing the same name. 1 name and 4 streets. Of course, it created a lot of hardship. Letters went where they were not. Yeah, the most difficult would be for the postman to find out the correct destination of his letters. Where to deliver this letter? Mahatma Gandhi Road. Which Mahatma Gandhi Road? People were not able to say where they lived or direct others there. I live in Mahatma Gandhi Road. Mahatma Gandhi Road, which one? The town became a wilderness with all its landmarks gone. So the landmarks have disappeared and it looks like a desert. In the desert you don't find any landmark, only lines and only sand and sand and sand. No landmarks. And that is why people get lost in the desert very often. So same here. The chairman was gratified with his inspired work, but not for long. He became restless again and looked for fresh fields of action. So yeah, he feels I have done a good job. At the corner of Lawley Extension and Market, there used to be a statue. Where? At the corner of Lawley Extension and Market. People had got so used to it that they never bothered to ask whose it was or even look it up. So it had been there for years and people had got used to it. So while passing also no one bothered to look up. Yeah, it has become a part of their lives. It was generally used by birds as a perch. So birds came and perched on the statue. Otherwise no one bothered about it. The chairman suddenly remembered that it was the statue of Sir Frederick Lawley, and suddenly the chairman due to some brain wave or the other, he feels, oh, this is the statue of Sir Frederick Lawley. So now let us pull it down. Nothing British to be here. Indianization. The extension had been named after him. Now it was changed to Gandhinagar, and it seemed impossible to keep Lawley's statue there any longer. So the place has been named as Gandhinagar. And so no need for Lawley statue here. We cannot keep Lawley statue here. The council unanimously resolved to remove it. Unanimously, that means when all of them take the same decision. All of them, they raise their hands. How many of you want the statue to be removed? So everyone, they put their hands. So unanimous decision. The council with the chairman sallied forth triumphantly next morning, in a victorious manner, next morning, and circumambulated the statue. They now realized their mistake. What was their mistake? The statue towered 20 feet above them and seemed to arise from a pedestal of molten lead. In their imagination, they had thought that a vigorous resolution would be enough to topple down the statue of this satrap. But now they found it stood with the firmness of a mountain. So it's not an easy task. It was fixed to the stand or the platform with molten lead. So they thought the job to be easy, but when they reached there and tried to pull it down, they had thought that it would be an easy job. But they realized, no, it is not. So Lawley's statue is towering above them. They realized that Britain, when she was here, had attempted to raise herself on no mean foundation. The foundation of the statue is quite strong. So as if Britain had tried to establish its supremacy in this strong manner. But it had made them only firmer in their resolve. But they became more firm. They became more determined to remove it. If it was going to mean blasting up that part of the town for the purpose, they would do it. So they are ready to go to any extremes. Even if it means that we blow it with dynamite, we are ready to do it. It has become a prestige issue. For they unearthed a lot of history about Sir Frederick Lawley. He was a combination of Attila, the Scrooge of Europe, and Nadir Shah with the craftiness of Machiavelli. He subjugated Indians with the sword and razed to the ground the villages from which he heard the slightest murmur of protest. He never countenanced Indians except when they approached to him on their knees. So this is what they dig up history books and get to know, that this Lawley was a tyrant. Only when Indians kneel before them, he would talk to them. And he was as if a mixture of Nadir Shah and Attila. And he forced the Indians down with the sword and razed to ground the villages when they tried to protest against his injustice. People dropped their normal occupation and loitered around the statue. Why? They keep on roaming around the statue without any fixed purpose, wondering how they could have tolerated it for so many years. So they feel, oh, how did we tolerate this statue for so many years? This man was a tyrant. The gentleman seemed to smile derisively at the nation now, with his arms locked behind, with his sword dangling from his belt. So the gentleman refers to Sir Lawley. So he seems to be as if amused at their trials. He seems amused. I am such a towering personality, and they are trying to pull me down. Let's see how you'll do it. There could be no doubt that he must have been the worst tyrant imaginable. He must have been the worst tyrant in history. Tyrant is a person who oppresses others. A dictator sort. Cruel dictator. With breeches and wig and white waistcoat and that hard, determined look. of all that had been hatefully familiar in the British period of Indian history. Yeah, hatefully familiar. Many British officials were like this only, with the wig and the coat and the breeches. They shuddered when they thought of the fate of their ancestors who had to bear the tyrannies of this man. So they tremble. The people of Lawley Road, they tremble when they think what our ancestors would have done, how our ancestors might have suffered the authority of this man. Next, the municipality called for tenders. A dozen contractors sent in their estimates, the lowest standing at 50,000 rupees, for removing the statue and carting it to the municipal office, where they were already worried about the housing of it. So tenders, yes, the lowest tender was 50,000, and in those times 50,000 meant a huge amount of money. Why? To get the statue from its place and take it to the municipal office. The chairman thought it over and told me, why don't you take it yourself? So it was a vast expense. So he tells the chairman tells the talkative man that why don't you take the statue yourself? I will give you the statue free if you do not charge us anything for removing it. So if you are able to remove it on your own, the expense of removing will be your own. If you do it, we will give it to you for free. I had thought till then that my only municipal friends were mad, but now I found I could be just as mad as they. So earlier he had thought that the people in the municipal council, they were all mad, and now he realizes that he is no less mad than they are. He is as mad as them. I began to calculate the whole affair as a pure investment. So if I take this statue home, how much money will it fetch me? Suppose it cost me 5,000 rupees to dislodge and move the statue. I knew the contractors were overestimating. They were overestimating the expense. So not 50,000 but 5,000 if I can remove it and take it home. To dislodge the statue, and I sold it as metal for 6,000. About 3 tons of metal might fetch anything, or I could probably sell it to the British Museum or Westminster Abbey. I saw myself throwing up the upcountry paper job. So then he feels that yes, after having spent 5,000 to dislodge the statue and bring it home, I could sell the metal, or I could also sell it to the British Museum at quite a high price. So he seems to be very good in business. The council had no difficulty in passing a resolution permitting me to take the statue away. So he feels then I wouldn't have to do this job of selling newspaper report and all that. So the council, what do? They pass a resolution that yes, he can take the statue away. I made elaborate arrangements for the task. I borrowed money from my father-in-law, promising him a fantastic rate of interest. So he borrows money and he says, don't worry, I will return your money with a good amount of interest. So from whom does he borrow the money? From his father-in-law. I recruited a team of 50 coolies to hack the pedestal. So it is like another story of R.K.NARAYAN, that's the engine trouble. So the man had won an engine in the fair, and then he was told to take it home. So he recruited how many coolies? 50 coolies to hack the pedestal. I stood over them like a slave driver and kept shouting instructions. So slave driver's job is to order the slave. So he keeps on ordering the coolies how to do the job. They put down their implements at 6 in the evening and returned to their attack early next day. So one day gone, at 6, they leave their instruments and they come back the next morning again to do their work. They were specially recruited from Koppal, where the men's limbs were hardened by generations of teak cutting in Mempi forest. So the coolies whom he had hired, they were strong men, quite strong, their limbs especially strong. Why? Because they were accustomed to cutting woods in the Mempi forest. We hacked for 10 days to bring a statue down. Can you believe it? No doubt we succeeded in chipping the pedestal here and there, but that was all. The statue showed no sign of moving. At this rate, I feared I might become bankrupt in a fortnight. Yeah. So if it continues in this way, I will become bankrupt within 15 days. I received permission from the district magistrate to acquire a few sticks of dynamite, cordon off the area and lighted the fuse. So no more hacking and all that. Use dynamite to bring this to just remove the statue from the pedestal. So he takes the permission of the district magistrate. I brought down the knight from his pedestal without injuring any limb. So thankfully, the knight, Sir Lawley, Frederick Lawley, is brought down from his pedestal, but no injuries to his person. Then it took me 3 days to reach the house with my booty. It's such a big statue, 20 feet statue. So this is his booty. And it takes him 3 days to take it home. With my it was stretched out on a specially designed carriage drawn by several bullocks. So in bullock cart, Belgadi. The confusion brought about my passage along Market Street, the crowd that followed uttering jokes. So when he is on his way to his home with the statue, so the crowd gather, many pass comments, they joke. The incessant shouting and instructions I had to be giving, the blinding heat of the day, and it was very hot also, and he was giving instructions. It wouldn't fit in one bullock cart, maybe 2 to 3 bullock carts in succession, and Sir Lawley lying on the bullock carts. Sir F's carriage coming to a halt at every inconvenient spot and angle, moving neither forwards nor backwards, holding up on the traffic on all sides, and darkness coming on suddenly with the statue nowhere near my home. All this was a nightmare I wished to pass over. So, the taking of the statue was also quite a nightmarish affair. I mounted guard over him on the roadside at night. So he stayed there at night to see that no one came and stole his booty. As he lay on his back staring at the stars, so the statue of Sir Lawley is lying on his back and looking at the stars. I felt sorry for him and said, well, this is what you get for being such a haughty imperialist. It never pays. So he tells the statue of Sir Lawley, not knowing that this Lawley is a different Lawley. So he tells, you were a proud industrialist and now see imperialist, and now see what has happened to you. You are lying in this bullock cart and being taken to my home. His head and shoulders were in my front hall, and the rest of him stretched out into the street through the doorway. Yeah, it's such a big statue, 20 feet, so it's not easy. Or rather, it's impossible to fit him in the house. So part of him inside the house and part of him outside the house. It was an obliging community there at Kabir Lane, and nobody minded this obstruction. Yeah. So in today's world, if you do that, your people, neighbors will come and complain, and then maybe they will hack it into pieces. But in those times, they were quite a friendly community, so no one objected. They didn't mind it only. The municipal council passed a resolution thanking me for my services. Thank you for taking the statue home. I wired this news to my paper, tacking it onto it tacking onto it a 10-inch story about the statue. So he sends us 10-inch story to the newspaper. So 10-inch, again earning 20 rupees. A week later, the chairman came to my house in a state of agitation. He seems to be quite agitated, the chairman. Why? I seated him on the chest of the tyrant. So Sir Lawley is lying, there is no place to offer. So he tells the chairman to sit on the chest of Sir Lawley. See these, he held out a sheaf of telegrams. They were from every kind of historical society in India, all protesting against the removal of the statue. So yes, once this was done, and then several telegrams come all over from India from historians. Why? They object to this removal of Sir Lawley's statue. Why? Because they give evidence that this Lawley was not what they had thought him to be. He was not a tyrant, rather he was a friend of India. So several telegrams. We had been misled, so we were wrong about Sir F. All the present history pertained to a different Lawley of the time of Warren Hastings. This Frederick Lawley of the statue, the statue person, this Frederick Lawley, the statue one, was a military governor who had settled down after the mutiny, 1857, the Sepoy mutiny. After that he had settled here. He cleared the jungles and almost built the town of Malgudi. So instead of being a tyrant, he was the builder of this town Malgudi. Rather we can say the father of Malgudi. And they have brought his statue down. So protests coming from all around India. The historians, coming from historians. He established here the first cooperative society for the whole of India. Not just for Malgudi, but for the whole of India, the first cooperative society. And the first canal system by which thousands of acres of land were irrigated from the Saryu, which had been dissipating itself till then. So he has been doing quite good jobs. One is this cooperative system, the canal system. He established this. He established that, and he died in the great Saryu's floods while attempting to save the life of villagers living on the banks. And his death also, he dies while trying to save Indians. He does this, he does that, so many things done. And they had confused him, mistaken identity, they had mistaken him for someone else. Like in your Julius Caesar, last year you all had learned in class 10, the Cinna, poet Cinna and the conspirator Cinna. So the poet Cinna being killed because he bore the same name. So this Sir Lawley was a friend of India. He had done so many good things for Indians, and that his statue should be brought down. So naturally historians are angry. They protest. They send several telegrams. He was the first Englishman to advise the British Parliament to involve more and more Indians in Indian affairs. So he tells the British Parliament it is their land, so engage them in the Parliament affairs where Indian things are being discussed. In one of his dispatches, he was said to have declared, Britain must quit India someday for her own good. So what a heroic statement this man had given. So he realized this much before the British left, that they have to leave India. The chairman said the government has ordered us to reinstate the statue. So after such trouble and paying the coolies and all that, he brings it home, and now the chairman comes and says we have to reinstate the statue, the government has ordered us. Impossible, I cried. This is my statue and I will keep it. Yeah, I have paid for all the expenses to bring it home, dislodge it from its pedestal and bring it home, so I am not going to give it. I like to collect statues of national heroes. This heroic sentiment impressed no one. But it fell on deaf ears because he has to listen to the government. He is answerable. Within a week, all the newspapers in the country were full of Sir Frederick Lawley. So all the newspapers, they start publishing all the philanthropic work which he had done. The public caught the enthusiasm. They paraded in front of my house shouting slogans, yes, reinstate the statue, give it back, and all that. So lots of hangama. They demanded the statue back. I offered to abandon it if the municipality at least paid my expenses in bringing it here. So finally he says, okay, I'm going to give up my claim to it, but the municipality has to pay me for the money which I had spent in bringing it here. The public viewed me as their enemy. So he is an enemy of the Republic. This man is trying to black market even a statue. They remarked, stung by it, I wrote a placard and hung it on my door. Statue for sale, 2.5 tons of excellent metal, ideal gift for a patriotic friend, offers above 10,000 will be considered. So he becomes also desperate. Oh, they are threatening me. So he wrote, statue for sale. So whoever wants to buy it, if you offer me at least 10,000, I am ready to negotiate. It infuriated them and made them want to kick me, but they had been brought up in a tradition of non-violence, and so they picketed my house. The public, they were so angry that they wanted to kick him, but since they were schooled in Gandhi's politics, non-violence. So what did they do? Instead of kicking him violently, they picketed around his house, satyagraha. They lay across my door in relays, holding a flag and shouting slogans. I sent away my wife and children to the village in order to make room for the statue in my house. So this picketing did not bother me. Since his wife and children were not in the house, he is not bothered. They had been sent. Why? Because he had to make room for the statue and keep it there until it was sold. Only I had to use the back door a great deal. Why? Because the front door was blocked by the picketers. The municipality sent me a notice of prosecution under the Ancient Monuments Act, which I repudiated in suitable terms. So a letter comes from the municipality that yes, you will be prosecuted, it will become a court case, you will be tried, because you are keeping an ancient monument, not handing it over. So he also gave it a befitting reply. We were getting into bewildering legalities, a battle of wits between me and the municipal lawyer. So the talkative man is also quite an intelligent fellow. So he also gives a suitable reply. Then the municipal lawyer, they have engaged a lawyer to fight this case. So he says something and he answers it back. So quite a legal battle going on. The only nuisance about it was an abnormal quantity of correspondence developed and choked up an already congested household. So what was the problem or the nuisance was that his house is already choked with Sir Lawley occupying all the space, and then a lot of paper, means the papers coming from the municipality's lawyer, and he writing these answers and sending. So much of paperwork in the house. Already the house is so congested. I clung to my statue. He is not a man to give up. Quite a determined person. A lot of resolution. Secretly despairing how the matter was ever going to end. So at the heart of his heart, he is thinking, how will it end? I long to be able to stretch myself fully in my own house. So he also wanted to get rid of the statue, but on honorable terms. 6 months later, so this continues for 6 months, relief came. The government demanded a report from the municipality on the question of the statue. So the government gives its pressure. It pressurizes the municipality. What has been done? 6 months have passed. And this altogether with other lapses on the part of the municipality made them want to know why the existing council should not be dissolved and re-elections ordered. So government used a new tactics. They asked an explanation that why shouldn't we dissolve this and go for a fresh election of the municipality. So now the chairman has to bow in order to keep his chair. I called on the chairman and said, you will have to do something grand now. Why not acquire my house as a national trust? So you have to do something. So take my house as a national trust where the statue of Sir Lawley is. Why should I? He asked. Because I said, Sir F is there, he is there. You will never be able to cart him to his old place. Yeah, it's very difficult to cart him back to his old place and reinstall him there. So rather install him in my house. It will be a waste of public money. Why not put him up where he is now? So in my house, put him up. He is lying there, put him up. He has stayed in the other place too long. I am prepared to give you my house for a reasonable price. So if you offer me a reasonable price, I will give you my house. And then you can reinstate him here. He has been there in that place for a quite long time. God knows how many years he had been there. So give him a new house. But our funds don't permit it, he said. But the municipal funds, they don't permit such a good amount of money. Why? Because he has to buy the house. And then also to reinstate the statue in this house will also cost some money. I'm sure you have enough funds of your own. Yeah, you have enough money, your own personal money. Why don't you do with the help of your personal money? Why should you depend on the municipal funds? It will indeed be a grand gesture on your part, unique in India. I suggested. So he tells that you do it. It will be a very grand thing, something a municipal chairman has ever done. I suggested he ought to relieve himself of some of his old blanket gains. You have gained quite a lot of money by selling your blankets. So you have good profit, I know. So get rid of some of them by buying this house. After all, how much more you will have to spend if you have to fight another election? Quite a clever fellow, this talkative man. He says, otherwise, if you are not able to do it, then what will happen? The government, it will dissolve this present council and a fresh election will be held. So you will have to again invest a lot of money in order to get the post of the chairmanship. But if you buy my house and reinstate Sir Lawley, you will remain in your position. It appealed to him. So he thought it was sensible. This was a good plan. We arrived at a figure. So this fellow, talkative man, he proposes you buy my house for such. He says a little lower and then they arrive at a point. He was very happy when he saw in the papers a few days later, the chairman of Malgudi municipality has been able to buy back as a present for the nation the statue of Sir Frederick Lawley. This is what the talkative man gets written in the newspapers. So he is very happy that yes, I have become a hero, the chairman. He proposed to install it in a newly acquired property which is shortly to be converted into a park. So yes, the house, the chairman with the help of the municipality will break down the house and then install statue, Sir Lawley statue there, and around it the land which, after breaking the house, the land which he gets, on that he will make a garden. This is what the newspaper says. The municipal council have resolved that Kabir Lane should be changed to Lawley Road. So again back to British India. Lawley Road. So change Kabir Lane and we will make this Lawley Road. Why? Because in honor of that famous friend of India. So quite an interesting story. I'm sure you must have liked it all. So it's a bit lengthy, but still I think it is fine. So what about the theme and R.K.NARAYAN's style of writing? So these I will discuss in another video. It will soon come up. But for the time being, yes, I bid you goodbye and don't forget this. The likes are very few, but I know you'll like it. Your comments are so good. So please do. If you want me to continue, you have to inspire me. I need inspiration. As you all need my videos, I also need inspiration from you. Otherwise, I'll feel, oh, no one is giving me good likes and all that. So, views are not so bad, but the likes are very few. Okay, so bye, and don't forget this one, and also subscribe to my channel.